Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. It was done using Loren Sherman's script, which uses a combination of dots, like these, and lines, like these, and also curvy lines. Lines can curve in combination with these four letter stems. So here's the circle inside the word circle stem. This is a shallow divot. This is a deep divot. And there's no circle on the line stems in this design. Anyway, and then also vowels. And vowels are smaller circles. So in this design, I have them all the same size just because that was the aesthetic I wanted. And they have different positions depending upon what vowel they are. So A's are always on the outside of the word circle, like that. E's are always on the line of the word circle. Or if they're enclosed on a consonant stem, they're in the middle of that consonant stem. And then A's are always on the outside, and O's are always on the inside of the word circle. I don't think there's O's in this design, but anyway, and they're like a bead on a string if they're attached on a consonant. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to this design. It's read left to right, which is because normally you read bottom counterclockwise like this arrow shows, except if you have a giant or infinitely large design, if you were to read that bottom counterclockwise, that would be left to right, which is why we read linear ones, left to right. So here's our first word. The bottom of the word circle is this, and here's our first letter we hit. It's a shallow divot, so this stem, and even though there's a line passing through it, nothing ends on it. Only lines that end on the stem count. So this is just a T, a no modifier shallow divot. And then we have an I because it's like an E, but I is like E with a line going in. So it's got a line going inwards, making it an I, so TI. Then we continue around. Here we have our next set of stems, and this is an M because it has 1, 2, 3 lines ending on a circle inside the word circle, and then there's an E in the middle of it. So TIME, time. And this is kind of the border of the sentence circle showing, I could put punctuation here if I wanted to, and then this is the end of the sentence circle, and there is punctuation, these 3 periods, dot, 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 gives it that ellipses at the end. So anyway, TIME, and then here's our next word. This is something tricky. It's just the line coming from this N and doing some funky stuff. This is the actual next word. And here's our first letter of it. It has 2 dots and a circle inside the word circle. So 2 dots, circle inside the word circle is a K. And this word is can, and it starts with the letter K because you only use this letter C in a proper noun or some other special circumstance. Normally you swap the C to a K, CH, S, or SH depending on the sound it makes. So this is the word can, the C goes K, so you put a K there. So K, A, and then we have the N with 1 line on it, just like an M, but with only 1 line N. So can, and this thickness doesn't matter of this bit. You can have them all thin if you like. The only thing that needs to be thick is this line right here. And I just put this here to help kind of the balance of the design. So anyway, can, and here's our next word. It's got a deep divot with no modifiers, so a B, and then an E on the line of the word circle. So B, and then we have this last big word here, and there's a lot going on here. So here's the bottom of the word circle, and this is the first stem we hit. It's kind of close whether this is the first letter or this is the first letter, but because this one is lower and actually crosses the middle, this is for sure the first one we read. It's a really big shallow divot, so it's in this row. And on it, there's 1, 2, 3 dots closest to it, because again, these are on the line of the sentence circle, so these are punctuation dots, and these are actual dots. So that would be an R. And then in the middle of that, we have an E, a little E. So re, and then we have this thing. So this is a bunch of letters stacked on top of each other. We have 2 lines stacked on top of each other, and they're different thicknesses, so they're different letters. And when reading consonant stems, if they're stacked, you read thin to thick. So this thin one here has 1, 2 lines ending on it. So this curved line here ends here and ends here. So that makes it a W. So it's shallow divot, and with 2 lines is a W. So W, and then we have this thick one with 1, 2, 3 dots next to it. So that would be an R. So WR, and then we have the I with a line going towards the middle, just like this I. And even though this I is a thin line, you always read the vowels after the consonants, even if you're doing a thick to thin stacking pattern. So WRI, and then we have another stack stem. except these two are the same thickness, so it's the same letter twice, and this is a double T. So W-R-I-T-T, and then E at the bottom here, and then it ends with an N. So rewritten. So R-E-W-R-I-T-T-E-N, rewritten, and then dot, dot, dot. So that is that design. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's got a nice balance to it. I'm glad I was able to get this like skewer thing lined up with this skewer thing, kind of making a nice little pattern that looks kind of symmetrical. So yeah, that's this design. Time can be rewritten, dot, dot, dot. I hope you like it. Bye.